What's going on, YouTube? I am Germ here. Hopefully this will be the last, if not at the very least one of the last videos from this trash setup. Still waiting on these guys to come fix my room, but until then the show must go on, and today I'm very excited to be talking about Paris once again. Obviously these have been some of the most popular videos on my channel. It's something I really enjoy to talk about, something that I think is very interesting in the CS markets right now, and something that I think hopefully will potentially go very well for a lot of us over the course of time. But obviously things have not been so great over the past couple weeks. A lot of Paris stickers have been flat, they've been down, people have been just kind of waiting for what's going to happen. But of course Paris is part of the overall market, and while the overall market has been trending down, that is of course not going to be in Paris's favor. And if CS2 ever starts to turn things around and becomes this really great game with no bugs and no issues, and it also has new content, a growing player base and all that stuff, that's going to be great for Paris as well. But also in this current downtrend of our market that we have been in recently, Paris is obviously going to struggle to do well, even if they are still overall what I think to be pretty good, pretty safe, pretty sound investments. But they're also investments that we know are not just going to explode overnight. It's going to take time. And recently, Paris has actually looked kind of interesting. You know, when you've seen the rest of the market kind of crashing down, Paris has been somewhat stable. There have been some stickers that have been maybe getting hit a little bit harder than others, but mostly a lot of Paris stickers have been flat. And again, that's not really what we want. We want to see prices going up. We want to see our portfolios and our investments and our accounts going up and things like that. But again, when you look at the graph of something like, the Esport Fire 300 graph, where it's had this just massive drop off over the past month, or like the CSGO All Items graph, which has just had, again, this massive drop off over the past month, and you compare it to something like Paris where, hey, it hasn't looked like that. Yeah, it's had a little bit of a drop off, but it's been relatively flat. But you can see here over the past couple of days, we kind of had this downtrend, but over the past couple of days, ending October, we've actually been on this little bit of an upward tick. And again, that also coincides with the market having a little bit of an upward trend. So I do believe that if the market continues to trend upward, Paris could hopefully, maybe, potentially start to go on a little bit of a run. And kind of today, we're already starting to see that a little bit when you take a look at some of the stickers. Now, obviously, a lot of the lower tier stickers have not moved a ton yet. You have, the cheapest unique sticker in Mongols, which is actually down to 81 cents. This thing's actually been hit pretty hard. As of late, you look at like the lifetime of this thing. I don't know. This obviously isn't going to tell us much. Maybe if we zoom in a little bit more, okay, I guess not. But over the last month, this thing's been as high as like $1.06, and now it's down to 80 cents. Haven't really seen anything trending up here. Again, I do think that a lot of these trends are going to start at the top of the market, and then they'll kind of see them trickle down over time. Something like Into the Breach also looks like it has been pretty flat over the past week. It's honestly still down. This thing was closer to $2.20 at the beginning of the week. Now it's down to $2. Another sticker that I really like, Heroic. Obviously, they've even been in the news lately with some drama, so they could have some kind of alternate factors affecting them and their price. But when you look at something like Heroic, over the past week has also kind of been flat or downward trending, 247 at the beginning of the week and now like 235. So there's so many people out there in the markets that are like, oh man, I missed the boat with Paris. Like, oh, what's the next good investment? What's the next big thing I can be a part of? Like, oh, it sucks that I missed this. And it's like, you haven't really missed anything. When the sale ended, the capsules and stickers, they got a little bit of a bump in price, but some of these have already fallen down to back where they were during the sale, if not even lower than they were during the sale. And when you look at stuff like third-party marketplaces, you can get these stickers for, and the capsules for even below the sale prices. So I don't really understand people saying that they missed the boat on Paris investments, because we're still very early days in the Paris investments. You can see this by looking at pretty much anything. We start to get into some of the mid-tier stuff, something like Fluxo. Obviously, Navi's been in the news and stuff lately as well, but I always like looking at Fluxo and Fnatic. We have 9 that looks like it's been on a little bit of a run lately. 9, I've never really seen this high up in the rankings. But we have Fluxo. I'm not trying to scroll through that, but we have Fluxo, who in the past week also looks like it has not been doing that great. 460 at the beginning of the week, up to 436 now. But you can see in the last couple days, Fluxo was 422 yesterday. Now it's up to 436. Might be starting a little bit of an uptrend there. We also have Fnatic, which again is another sticker that I really like to track and follow, which again is down on the week, 516 down to 454. But just a couple days ago, this thing was as low as 416, 430. Now all of a sudden it's 450, but it was 470. So could this be a little bit upward trend for Paris? I don't know. But again, I think we are beginning to see an upward trend in the top of the Paris market in the big 4 here: Apex, Gamer Legion, Furia, and Mouse. And again, these are always going to be the ones that drive the market, because these are the most popular stickers from the set. These are the ones that have the highest demand. These are the ones that people like the most. And when people think the stickers are cheap or underrated or undervalued, these are the ones that are going to be getting the purchases first. And then once they get into a place where people think they're like fairly valued or overvalued or too crazy or whatever, people are going to go for their next favorite stickers or kind of their mid to lower tier ones and go from there. This doesn't mean that these stickers are going to have the best ROI, doesn't mean that these are the best investments, these are the best purchases or anything like that. But when you're tracking the market, I think these are good ones to keep an eye on and take a look at, because I think the whole market is going to follow their trends overall. And when you look at these stickers, you see some really, really great and promising things. The Maus Paris Hollow in the past week, here's like the month graph. It's been up and down. It's been all over the place. These things have been very, very volatile. But in the last week, again, it's down on the week, 1416 to 1360. But a couple days ago, this is 3 days ago, this thing was 1280, and now it's up to 1360. You can see a clear upward trend here with the Maus. Again, some of those graphs, we still saw a downward trend. Some of them, we saw a little bit of an up and down. But here with Maus, this is a clear upward trend that we're seeing in the past couple days, even in the past couple hours. People are starting to get excited about the Maus Paris. People are starting to buy this. There is some demand here. Same thing when we look at another upper tier sticker like the Furia. Again, in the past month, the graph's crazy. It's all over the place. It's been very volatile. In the last week, this thing is down 1350 to 1240 in the last week. But again, from October 28th, it was 1186, and now it's up to 1270. You can see a clear upward trend here. You can see a clear shift in demand. And this is not something we're only seeing in Paris. This is what we're seeing in the whole market. The last couple of days have actually been pretty good for the CS markets. Now, will this upward trend be sustained? I don't know. That depends if you think that the market was undervalued, underpriced, whatever before. If you think people were panic selling too much, if you think people were overselling, or maybe you think these are closer to the fair market prices, we're going to see a little bit of an up and then a down. I don't know. I think we could definitely start to see a little bit more of an uptrend. Maybe it's just going to go flat for a little while, but I don't think we're going to see too many explosive drops here coming in the future because I think things have already dropped an amount that starts to make a little bit of sense. Here we have the Gamer Legion, which again, over the past week, is going to share a lot of the same graphs. This thing was $11 a week ago. It's $9.97, but a couple days ago, it was $9.50. Again, that's not a huge upward trend, but we're starting to see some upward movement. We're starting to see some promising signs. I think I have the Apex Hollow here too that I wanted to talk about. This kind of being the one that's maybe been hit the hardest during the sale. Again, this is like $8 right now. This thing was $10, $11, $12, $13, $14. This thing was competing with Maus for a while, and now it's like 2/3 of the price of Maus, so it's seen a significant drop off. But again, in the past week, it's down $9 to $8.35. But a couple days ago, you could get this thing for $7.70. You get this thing for $8 all day. Now it's up to $8.35. So a nice little run there for the Apex. Didn't mean to show. That was the thumbnail that I was working on for the last video, just in a different tab, because I'm having to make my thumbnails on my laptop now too. But what we do have here is the Paris capsules. Now, again, a lot of these have been all over the place. Some of these autograph capsules I've seen as high as 36 cents recently, but these haven't really been moving too much or going up too much. When you look at the Team Hollow capsules or the team capsules, you have the Contenders at 32 cents, which has been leading the market. Contenders has been the best performer in terms of the team capsules so far. 32 cents, not too bad. Again, that's above the 25 cents. I believe even after Steam market fees and everything, you could still be profitable on 25-cent capsules for that. Challengers and Legends, I'm pretty sure these are about break even right now. You might even be losing a little bit, but Challengers and Legends have been lagging behind. But again, the thing to keep in mind here is that as sticker prices rise, obviously the capsule prices are going to rise as well. So if we're beginning to see an upward tick in the high tier stickers, that could mean we're eventually going to start to see more upward movement with the rest of the stickers, which means then we would see upward movement in the capsules. I don't know if that's all going to happen, but that's just something to keep an eye on. Again, it doesn't really matter what capsules are doing right now because, again, capsules and stickers are ultimately going to move a lot together. I also thought this was very, very interesting that Price Empire tweeted this out a couple hours ago. They said some Paris 2023 autographs are starting to move. Again, I don't know a ton about autographs. I haven't followed them a ton, but they are very tricky. They're very volatile. You never know exactly which ones are going to move or why. And there's just so many different choices. It's going to be hard to pick the winners, but you have a ton of green here. When you look at the last 24 hours, 7 days, 30 days, 60 days, you will see some of these autographs as much as up 90% in the last 7 days, 58%, 60, 65, 46. Some of these autographs are starting to move really, really crazy. And again, that's going to be great for the autograph capsules and stuff like that. But as Paris as a whole starts to do well, there will be demand for some things like the hollows and stuff like that as well. But again, we saw that there's some team hollows on the upper end that are starting to trend upward. There's some of these autographs that are starting to trend upward. And even though capsules have been flat or down a little bit, if all the stickers inside the capsules keep going up, they're obviously going to go up as well. So the Paris market doesn't really seem too crazy just yet. Nothing too exciting, nothing too promising, but we're starting to see some slight uptrends in some places, which is giving us some hope, which means that Paris could be making a comeback, and the next couple weeks and months could be pretty exciting and pretty crazy. Again, we don't know. Things could go crashing back down, but there's at least some signs of life and some signs of some good things to come. But that's pretty much it for this video today, guys. Hopefully catch you in the next one. Until then, peace.